What is up, you geezer, blow tie geezers? It is Chris Modern9 here. I thought I'd do a real quick video because CMG is rendering a video for his channel right now. So he's given me some time to do a video for myself. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to do a quick preview on tomorrow's Champions League game against Roma. Now, I'd say it's been like 3 days since the tragic, abysmal and embarrassing 2-1 defeat against Crystal Palace. Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing, you know. We gave Crystal Palace a bit of momentum this season after 7 games of utter torment, I guess. We, according to them, we were kind of a get out clause, or a, I don't know. I don't really care right now. All I care about is Chelsea, okay? Anyway, Roma. So, I've got a few things I want to talk about before that game. Now, the first order of business is to talk about Alvaro Morata. Now, apparently, he's back to full fitness, according to a few things that I've been reading on Twitter and everything. Well, having Morata back has its good points, but it also has its bad points as well. Obviously, the good points are pretty obvious. You know, we've got our main striker back. You know, we can get the goals from him. He's technically our battering ram. I mean, Diego Costa used to be that for 3 years, and then, well, he's not there anymore, is he? Obviously, because he's back at Atletico Madrid. So it's Morata that's now our battering ram. So, yeah, it's good that he's back now. So that hopefully, you know, Eden Hazard and him will work together, get some good chemistry going between the two of them. I mean, they're two well-known players. So that's a good point. Now, the bad points. Now, I watched a video from Yunus. I think that's his name. Yunus on YouTube. The guy with the awesome hairdo. Now, he mentioned an interesting point on his video when he was talking about the Palace game. He mentioned that it could, well, I don't know, is it a sin to rush Morata into this game? Is it a sin? I don't know, maybe. Because he mentioned an interesting point. If he, for any reason, pulls his hamstring again, and it's worse than what he had originally, he could be out for more than a month. He could be out for about maybe 3 to 4 months. Hamstrings are deadly to football players. Football players dread this injury. You know, it's right up there with some of the worst injuries that you can get in football. And, you know, once you pull that hamstring, it's good night, Irene, basically, to your footballing career in terms of a season. You know, it's a season-ending injury, you know, if it's not treated the right way. And I feel that, yeah, Yunus made a great point that, you know, if you rush this injury too much, or it could suffer consequences later on. I don't know, but I'm just like, I'm glad that Morata is back to full fitness. I'm glad that he's kicking the ball around in training, you know, all of that good stuff. A day before the Roma game, I'm very happy that he could be in contention to start. However, I am a little bit cautious. You know, I'm a cautious Chelsea supporter. I'm very nervous about Morata. I'm hoping that he doesn't, well, he comes out of this game unscathed, whether it's a win or a loss. Obviously, we have to win. I'll get to that in a minute. But Morata has to be, well, yes, he has to be back because he's our main striker. But like I said, I'm a little bit worried about his idea of coming back. You know, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest with you. I mean, if you've got any ideas in the comments below, even though technically I don't get them, all I get is views apparently, then yeah, feel free to just mention things in the description, and I'll be happy to discuss with you about that. So now on to the actual game. We have to win that game. We absolutely have to win that game. We cannot, and I repeat this, we cannot lose 2 games in a row and then play Roma and then play the way we did against both City and Palace and then lose and then right off the bat, there's 3 losses in a row. Then we play Watford at home. That is a very bad situation, especially when Watford beat Arsenal 2-1 to leapfrog us in the league. They've got their tails up. So if they beat us, last season, I know this was really, really, really late into the season. We'd already won the league and we played Watford last season, and we played out a 4-3 win, a 4-3 game, right? Watford came back about 3 times in the game. I think it was 3. Yeah, 3 times. Well, obviously, yeah, because obviously they wouldn't have scored 3 goals. But they came back 3 times. I believe we were 3-1 up at one point, and then Watford got 2 goals back. And then, well, thankfully, we had Fabregas to score that last one. But, yeah, but that's not... We're not talking about Watford. We're talking about Roma. Now, who do I play in this match? So, I don't want to start Cahill. I'm going to try and avoid talking about Cahill or even playing him in this game, because Cahill is a liability at the moment. Everyone knows that. He's just not Gary Cahill at the moment. He's not the Cahill that was in 2012 when he won us the Champions League. It's not that Cahill, okay? Now, I would play Courtois in goal, obviously. Then at the back, I would have Azpilicueta, Azpilicueta, Christensen, and Rudiger. Now, you'll know that I didn't mention David Luiz because he's in the midfield, right? So we play a 3-5-2. We go we go with Zabacosta and Alonso as wingers. Then in the middle, we have Bakayoko and Fabregas in the CM roles. Then we have David Luiz at CDM. David Luiz can play CDM. He's done it before. He played CDM. If you remember, when Rafa Benitez was managing us in 2013, we won the Europa League. And I do believe even before that, when we were in the Champions League, he played there. So he can play that role. He can play there. I know he can. And I do believe he did play there when he was at PSG. Correct me if I'm wrong. He did maybe play a couple of games there when he was at PSG. So if he's familiar in that role, play him. And I do mention this because Kante, of course, is injured. He can't play. And I say Zabacosta instead of Moses because Moses is injured. See, that's the problem we've got right now, is that we literally have no options. The board have made it so that we have absolutely no options. We don't even have our loan players. Well, obviously, because they've been either loaned out or sold out. So we can't rely on those. I would have said maybe recall Tammy Abraham back, but, well, we can't do that. Even though he's playing really well for Swansea, we can't bring back Tammy Abraham because of the clause in his contract. The clause in his contract stated that he was to develop there at Swansea and we can't recall him. So, yeah, we've kind of shot ourselves in the foot in that department. But, yeah, we've got a on-form Tammy Abraham who's playing for a different club, and yet we've got Batshuayi who can't... Well, he can't fill Alvaro Morata's role at the minute. I don't think he can. I think he has to work a lot harder. But that's technically not Batshuayi's fault. It's the midfield. The midfield needs to provide for Batshuayi in order for him to do things. But of course, Batshuayi's got to do things himself. It's not just the midfield. So yeah, I'd play... The wing-backs would be Zabacosta and Alonso. Midfield, Fabregas, David Luiz, and Bakayoko. And then up front, Morata, maybe Hazard. Yeah, Hazard and Hazard would have to probably work. I would say Hazard used as a centre forward, not a striker, but a centre forward. Morata needs somebody there to help him with the assist. And I think that Eden Hazard can play as a centre forward. Not as a striker, but as a centre forward. Yeah. I think that's what... Like, Fabregas has to be used in that central role to provide as maybe long balls, or maybe provide to the wing backs if they need to make a run and they need to get the ball and cross the ball into the box so that Morata can nod them in. See, the real problem I've got with Roma is Nainggolan. Raja Nainggolan. He is going to absolutely kill us if we're not prepared. I don't think we're prepared. I really don't think we're prepared for this. Nainggolan. I think that's how you pronounce it. Nainggolan? Nainggolan? Yeah. He smokes. That's all I'm rich for to know him. And he's a bloody damn good midfielder as well. For Belgium and for Roma. He is going to absolutely kill us. I know how good he is. Right? If we don't know how to deal with players like Nainggolan, we are going to struggle. We are going to struggle. Unless we have players like David Luiz, Rudiger, Christensen, and Azpilicueta, who are very much capable of defending well. And I know they can, because they're all professionals. Christensen especially, because Christensen, like, he's not even first choice in that defence right now, and he can defend better than anybody can. Especially Cahill. And that's the reason why I feel Cahill should be out of that team. Because Cahill just clearly has no idea at the minute. He literally does not deserve to play at all. Right? At all. In fact, there was actually a statement that he made. What was it now? I'll get back to you. So Gary Cahill, yesterday, mentioned a little bit of a blurb here on the Chelsea Twitter account. It says, according to Gary Cahill, it says, my role as a skipper now is to go into training and be positive and go again. No. That's not right, Cahill. Your job is to lead. Your job is to take that team and kick them up the arse and get them to run and get them to do stuff. That's your job, right? That's what John Terry used to do. Years and years and years. So many years John Terry did it. So many years he perfected it. That's the problem we have. We've got no heart. We've got nobody that can grab games or grab the team by the scruff of the neck and get on that pitch and do the job that you need to do. Right? Gary Cahill has to do that. And if he's not willing to do that, then he's not even worth being a Chelsea player. He might as well leave in January. Because he's not a player that can just grab a game by the balls and do what needs to be done. If you're not going to do that, you might as well give it to either David Luiz or Azpilicueta that are willing to do that job. And I mentioned those two players because I believe of all the players that we've got, of all the collection of players that we've got, it's very difficult to find an actual leader in that team. And I'm assuming that's the reason why we've not got any heart. Is that we don't have a leader, right? I earmark David Luiz and Azpilicueta as the two players that I feel are worthy enough to take that leadership role. Maybe Fabregas because he does have a little bit of leadership experience with Arsenal, but why would you pick Fabregas? He's not the go-to leader, is he? Technically, he's a man to create, but he's not a leader. Somebody like David Luiz and Azpilicueta have been there enough years to have a care, right? So they should have a chance to take the game by the scruff of the neck and lead that team out. But no, Gary Cahill is that man. But everybody doesn't like Cahill at the moment because he can't. His head's not there. Gary Cahill's head is not there. So what do? Do I play him? I don't feel it's right to play Cahill at the minute. I think it should be that Cahill plays, or Cahill doesn't play, and he realises that the reason why he's on that bench is because he's not doing enough. So he has to work harder in training to get to that, get in that starting 11 and prove to Antonio Conte that he is the leader that Conte wants in that team. The fans want in that team, right? So that's the team. And of course, I forgot to mention the two strikers up front. Did I mention I do believe Morata and Hazard? Yes, I do believe I did. So this is an absolute must-win game, right? We cannot lose this game. If we lose this game, our heads are going to drop. That's what I fear. Our heads are going to drop. We're going to go into this game against Watford. We're going to have the wrong mentality. And we're just going to collapse. We're going to collapse. We are going to collapse. as a football club if we don't beat Roma. That's the key. That's the key point of this video. You lose against Roma, you collapse. Simple as that. Right? I can't make it more blunt than that. Or more fairer than that. Right? You have to win this game. You have to win this game. Right? Forget Crystal Palace. Forget Manchester City. Those are games in the past. Alright? We were outplayed in those games. Technically, tactically, we were beaten in those games. But we focus on this game. Right? We focus. We find out what happens in this game. We play it out. Right? Fingers crossed. We do an Atletico Madrid and we dominate them. We dominate them. That would be the ideal situation, right? Regardless of all the problems we've had recently, regardless of a potential crisis, we go into this game, we dominate. We get the early goal, possibly an early goal. Hopefully, maybe Roma will come out and have a spell, and then it's our defensive job to stop them from getting that potential spark that they need in that game. Then hopefully we'll win the game. And then, once we've got a win on our board, we go into the Watford game. And then we build from there. We build from there. Once we've got that win, we can build from it. And hopefully, we will have our confidence back. Right now, if we lose the game, our heads are going to drop. And we are going to just look ridiculous. We're going to look ridiculous. And let's not forget, guys, after Watford, Manchester United. Manchester United are on the horizon. I tell you what, the form that Man United are in, well, judging on the fact that they were boring against Liverpool, well, that's a Jose Mourinho side for you. A big side against a big side equals boringness, just defending for the rest of the game. Yeah. Jose Mourinho will get one on us at Stamford Bridge if we do not prepare. If we do not have the right mentality. That's the most important thing. We need to have the right mentality. At the moment, I don't think it's there. But I hope Chelsea prove me wrong. I hope Chelsea prove me wrong. They get a win against Roma. They get a win against Watford. Let's just see what happens. We'll be fine if that happens. But until then, I'm sceptical. I'm sceptical. There's a potential hazard that we'll end up just breaking down. Like we did in 2015-16. I hope that's in the past still. I don't want it to bleed into this season. I don't want it to happen again. I don't want anything. Conte is professional. He knows what to do. So I believe in him. This is the reason why I don't like it when people say Conte out. Because Conte's a professional manager. He gets paid every week to sort that team out. If he's professional enough, he's capable of it. So let him do his job. Regardless of the fact that whether he's got options or not is irrelevant. He is professional enough to mould a team or mould a squad together and beat Roma. I think he can do it. We've just got to work with what we've got. Guys, that's what we've got to do. Work with what we've got. Hold it out until January and then maybe buy players to give us more options. That's what I'm hoping, guys. And with that, I'm going to end the video, guys. So if you enjoyed it, feel free to hit a like on this video and make sure you comment as well. Let me know what you think of this game. Do you think we're going to win? I hope we are. But the way things are going, it's 50-50. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Make sure you check out the gaming channel as well. Chris Marder Games. That will be in the description below if you like gaming. And all the rest of it. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Hey door, and peace. Come on, Chelsea, let's do this job.